The Midwives of Raglan Road, written by Jenny Holmes, read by Anne Dover. The moral right of the author has been asserted. Chapter 1. "Wakey, wakey!" A voice in the street roused Hazel Price from a deep sleep. It was followed by an urgent knocking and a cry of, "It's Leonard Hollins here! Come quick! Baby's on its way!" Hazel jumped out of bed and slipped into the set of clothes laid out on her bedside chair, her underthings followed by a crisp white blouse and dark blue skirt. Down on the first-floor landing, Hazel's mother Ginny appeared, keen to make sure that her daughter had heard the call. "Get a move on before Leonard wakes the whole street," she grumbled. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, and Raglan Road was silent except for the raucous caller at number 18. Slipping on her shoes and jacket, Hazel picked up her bag and flung open her attic door to see her bemused father in shirt sleeves, with braces dangling from his waist, standing alongside her mother in their bedroom doorway. "Do you want me to go down and tell him you're on your way?" Robert's voice was still thick with sleep. "No, Ta, I'm all set." Rushing downstairs 2 at a time, Hazel brushed past her mother and father, then down again to open the front door, just as the scrawny man waiting there raised his fist to knock a second time. His hair was prematurely grey, and his figure small and permanently stooped, as if in recognition of the fact that the life he'd been born into was hard, and getting harder by the day. "About time, too," Leonard grumbled, backing down the stone steps and wheezing his way up Raglan Road until he reached one of the alleyways leading into Nelson Yard. Following close on his heels, Hazel almost bumped into him as he paused for breath. "At this rate, bet you'll have gone ahead and done the job herself," he complained. "Let's hope not." Hazel gave a shake of her head. She knew every crack of these stone pavements, the worn steps, the rusty iron railings, and the lion-head knocker on each front door. Even the dank smell of the alley, and beyond that the washing lines strung across the yard, with weeds pushing up between the cobbles, were familiar to her. All the details seemed just as they had always been, except for her, of course. She was the one who had changed. Leonard fumbled in his jacket pocket for his cigarettes, then thought better of it, and shuffled on across the yard that consisted of 4 rows of inward-facing dwellings, each row made up of 8 terraced houses. Even in their heyday, these dwellings had never offered local mill workers more than basic accommodation. Most were owned by absentee landlords who shirked their responsibility to keep the houses in good order, so it was no wonder that when roof tiles slipped and fell, they were left in the gutter, and when a window pane was shattered by boys at play, a wooden board was haphazardly nailed to the frame, never to be replaced. Hazel and Leonard passed a row of dustbins lined up against the wall of an outside privy, and then a lean-to shelter that housed a dented pram with a broken hood and a bicycle frame without wheels. Beyond that, tucked away in the corner, was an open door. "Home sweet home," Leonard muttered sarcastically, standing aside to let Hazel cross the threshold into a cramped kitchen with a chipped pot sink piled high with dishes. Hazel saw the heel of a stale loaf of bread on a bare table, and from under the table 2 grubby faces stared up at her. They belonged to Leonard and Betty Hollings' half-naked offspring, a boy of 3 or 4 and a girl under 2, sitting cross-legged, still and silent as little Buddhas amidst the chaos around them. "The midwife is here!" Leonard yelled up the stairs. "Take the kiddies to Dorry next door!" "Ugh!" his wife called back, before a fresh wave of contractions must have gripped her. The sentence ended in a series of groans. "I'll need hot water," Hazel instructed the down-at-heel father. "Plenty of it, plus towels and some sheets of brown paper if you have them." She hurried upstairs, following the sounds of a woman in labour into the bedroom.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?